You need to be writing better songs. To do that, you need more riffs. To get those, you need more time. But if you always open your door to a blank session, you've already lost. Before you play a single note, you've spent 20 minutes routing tracks, loading plugins, and probably endlessly tweaking your guitar tone. And now your creative momentum is gone. And it gets worse. If you write, say, 3 times a week, and you waste 20 minutes each time, that's 52 hours per year wasted. 52 hours not writing new music. And let's face it, life is crazy. You're already struggling to find time to write, so you need every minute you can get. So today, I'm going to give you a solution to that problem. I'm going to show you how to design a writing template that you can use every single time you sit down to lay down a riff. And I'm going to prove it works by writing a full song in 30 minutes. At least I hope I am. I haven't actually done it yet. Stay to the end to see if I pull it off. So let's dive right in and get this template set up. All right, as we set up this writing template, feel free to do this along with me in your DAW. I'm using Logic, but this is going to apply to any DAW that you use. If you spend 10 minutes with me right now setting this up, you're going to save yourself hours and hours and hours of time in the long run. As you can see, I have a completely blank session right now. The first thing I'm going to do is add an arrangement track. So I'm going to create a MIDI track with an empty channel strip and no output. There's going to be no audio coming from this. This is just so that we can label the sections of our song. So I'm going to name this track Arrangement. And now with the pencil tool, if I want, I could put something here and I can name this Intro. And then I could copy it over and name this verse 1, pre-chorus. Eventually we'll color code all of this and we'll send it up to our marker section. All right, next let's set up drums. So Logic has this really cool drummer plugin here that is called Session Player. I'm gonna make the drummer style hard rock because they don't have metal, boo. And what this is gonna do is just give me ideas. So right here, it's already got a groove programmed for me. And with all these sliders, I could just drag things. And as you can see, it's changing the groove. I could lower the fills if I want. I could do it manually if I want to. When you're writing riffs, sometimes it's easy to start with the drums. Next thing I'm going to do is create my drum programming track. So I use GGD Invasion. I'm going to make sure that this is going to the stereo out. And one thing you could do, again, we're trying to save time here, is you could just create a region to start with. This way you don't have to do it later. I like to color coordinate my tracks. To me, drums are purple. This way, when I'm looking at my session, everything kind of looks the way it's going to look when I mix. So next, we're going to create the rest of our instrument tracks. So I'm going to create 7 tracks here. I'm going to make this input 1 because that's what I'm going to be recording on. So the next thing we're going to have is bass, rhythm left, rhythm right, lead center, lead left, lead right, vocal scratch. And one of the keys here is you want to load all of your plugins now. Again, we're doing all of the heavy lifting beforehand, so you don't have to do it ever again. So for bass, I'm going to load up one of my favorite amp sims. I like using the STL Tone Hubs Will Putney bass. This counter bass preset is one of my faves, and we're going to make the bass pink. For the rhythm left and right, we're going to add in our guitar amp sims. For that, I'm going to use Neural DSP's Archetype Nolly, and I happen to have a preset here. And we're going to take that and we're going to bump it over to the opposite rhythm channel. For me, rhythm guitars are red. And then we're going to pan our left guitar left and our right guitar right. Now for the leads, I like to use the STL Tones Tonality Will Putney suite. I'm going to go mono to stereo because I am using some of the post effects here. Now for leads, I really like the one that's called Creamy Lead. But one thing I like to do is I like to add some delay on it. And I'm going to put it about 25% wet. I'm going to copy that to the other 2 lead channels. And for me, lead guitars are green. Now we have a lead center, which we're going to leave there. The lead left, we're going to pan about 20. Lead right, we're going to pan about 20 in the opposite direction. All right, for a vocal scratch track, I like to use an all-in-one vocal plugin here. For me, Howard Benson Vocals by Joey Sturgis Tones is a really good one. Has everything you need. It's kind of an entire vocal chain in one. You got compression, EQ, a multiplier, width, delay, reverb, and a limiter at the end. Now for me, clean vocals are teal and heavy vocals are, I don't know what you would call that color, darker teal. Drop me a comment if you're a color aficionado. Let me know what color that is. I almost forgot. The last thing we're going to do is we're going to add a click track here because I don't like Logic's stock click. It sounds like this. When you're playing heavy music, it doesn't really cut through much. So I like to add my own. So I'm going to create a MIDI instrument. I like to put it right above the instrument that I'm going to be tracking. I'm going to name this track Click, and I actually have it already set up. This is just your typical cowbell sound. I'm going to put these at about 100. I'm going to max this one out. So now it should sound like this. And I'm just going to repeat the region forever. All right, now we got our template set up. So let's save it as a template. I'm going to go up to File, Save as Template. We're going to name this Riff Haven Writing Template. All right, so I have my guitar in my lap. I'm about to open up the template that we just created. Once I do, I'm going to hit go on the timer. I have nothing prepared. Let's see how fast I can write a song. Wish me luck. And here we go. I don't like any of that. All right, I think I got a riff here. Something like that. Screw that up. Let's go with that. I need some groove now. Let's see what we got. Closing in on it here. I'm going over, guys, sorry. Let me throw down some bass quick. I gotta make that better though. All right, I'm stopping the clock. 35:49. All right, I went a little over. So real quick, just to make it sound good, we probably should have added this to our template. If you guys want to have some kind of little mastering chain just so you could turn this on after you're done tracking. All right, in 35 minutes, let's see how far we got. I'm gonna mute the click and let's listen. guess I was in kind of a kill switch engage mood today. Now, is this a finished song? No. Is there something here? Sure. I do think I kind of like this. Digging that riff. The breakdown's pretty basic. But the point is, I spent about a half an hour of time and I have some building blocks. This thing might be chopped up. That pre-chorus that I like might be pulled from this and put into another song that I have with another riff that matches better. If you create a template, you can get new ideas a lot faster. If you're trying to take 12 riffs and turn them into 12 songs, you're gonna have a lot more trouble than if you had 100 riffs and you're trying to turn those into 12 songs. Now, once your song is fully written, you're ready to record it. And if you wanna make sure that you're doing it right, I highly recommend you watch this video next. I speedrun 25 tips for bands that self-record. And if you do these, I promise your songs will level up big time. Check it out. I'll see you there.